India, because another critical election we're watching, of course, happened there. Shares are staging the strongest rally in more than 3 years after exit polls suggest that Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be re-elected. The official election results are not expected until Thursday. Joining us now, Foreign Policy Managing Editor Ravi Agrawal. Great to have you on the show, Ravi.
Good to be on, Julia.
As always. So, first question, can we trust these polls? Because they haven't always been that accurate in the past.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, in general, I would be wary of exit polls, but it is telling that every single exit poll is saying the same thing. And for Modi to not come back to power now, what would need to happen is every single one of those exit polls would need to be wrong, and by a very long margin. So it points to a trend, but trends can be wrong.
Yeah, but you make a great point that a lot of consistency and inaccuracy would be required. What's it going to mean for India another 5 years of Narendra Modi? Because, you know, we spent a lot of time 5 years ago talking about his hopes for reform, and since then, he's fallen short, actually, in many ways, and yet that wasn't at the heart of this election campaign. So what now?
It really wasn't, and the strange thing about this election campaign is that the focus on both sides has been on name-calling.
Yes.
There's been a real coarsening of the dialogue in this election, and there hasn't been much discussion of substantive issues in terms of what are you going to do to reduce unemployment, which is at a 45-year high, how are you going to create jobs, how are you going to improve the rate of acceleration of growth in the economy, which has also come down recently. Exactly. So there are real concerns that a Modi 2.0 sort of policy platform hasn't been clearly delineated, and so we may have more of the same. That said, more of the same is something that the markets are cheering today, as you pointed out. The benchmark Indian index is up 3.75% today to a record close, and so I think there's clearly a sentiment among investors that continuity is a good thing, lower interest rates is not a bad thing, and this government especially has put pressure on the central bank to cut rates, and so perhaps that's one thing that they'll be looking for as well.
More stimulus perhaps coming from the central bank as well if Modi remains in power.
Yeah, exactly, and for better and for worse, because India's central bank, for it to lose some independence is not the best thing for its future. It also loses ammunition to take bigger measures in the future if there's a crisis, and credibility. There's also the fact that you know, under this government, what they really haven't delivered on, there's been no discussion on how they're going to deliver on infrastructure projects were it to get another 5 years. But finally, the fact that there could be a non-coalition government. So if the BJP, Modi's party, wins enough seats to stay in power without the help of other parties, that would mean it could unilaterally take big decisions.
Yes, that is much more powerful. We shall see Thursday, the day where we actually get the results. Fantastic, Ravi Agrawal there. All right.